Hey guys, I'm back. If you like this kind of content, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe for the sake of the algorithm. It helps grow the channel. We've got Sawyer Collett's interview coming out on Friday, interviewing Larry Wheels in by the time this video comes out, I'll already have done the interview with him. So we'll talk to him. Chance Mitchell, we got a lot of big people, Alpha Destiny, all the people coming up. So subscribe to the channel, I'll keep it coming. Now, today's video is basically, the cold, harsh reality of it is the medical system is not your friend. The only one looking out for your health is yourself. You're the only one who can look out for your health. And this was like a big wake-up call for me too, as far as like my decision to come off steroids, try to be healthier, try to lose weight, try to fix all my issues on my own. Because the truth is, the medical system, they don't care about you. They don't. They really don't. There might be, I would say, a smaller percentage of doctors who legitimately care about their patients as far as looking at their overall health. But do you know how many times I've heard from people who go to the doctor and they get labs done or whatever, and the doctor literally just tells them, oh yeah, looks good. Like there's a follow-up appointment, they go, looks good. That's all they say. Or they'll get a call and they'll be like, you're good. They don't explain anything. They don't tell you anything. They don't really look into it. The doctors, most of these general practitioners are not going to spot any red flags on your blood work. They're not going to say, oh, hey, this is a problem. This could lead to issues down the road. Hey, you're pre-diabetic. Hey, your cholesterol's a little high. That could lead to a heart attack. Hey, we need to fix this. We need to fix that. They're not going to point that out. They go off a very rigid and strict chart as far as the normal numbers. This is the same argument where they're like, hey, your testosterone is 280, that's in the normal range, you're good, who freaking cares? Like, they don't care. They're not looking out for you. You're the only one looking out for you. So you have to take this seriously because, I've thought about it. I'm like, at the end of the day, no one's going to save me. Doctors aren't going to save me. Doctors aren't going to look out for me. I have to look after myself, like my family even. Like, I have to look after their health because I don't trust most of the medical system in America. And it's probably like this in other places as well. They're not... You think they have your best interest in mind? It's a for-profit business, folks. Like, all it is, it's a business. The medical system is a business. It's completely ridiculous. It's for-profit. At the end of the day, it's all a system to make money. That's what it is. So you have to really look at what's going on here. They don't care about you. They really don't. Nobody cares about you. You have to look after your own health. You have to educate yourself. You have to learn these things. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. So it's the same example of if you go to, and I learned this is very interesting. Like, my wife goes for prenatal care as far as like labs and stuff, in the lead up to having our baby. And it's pretty funny because we'll get the bill back for the labs. And these labs are labs that would cost me at most $100 out of pocket. At most. Like, if I ordered these labs on my own from like Merrick Health or something, it cost me $100. The lab bill is like $1,000. And I'm looking at the individual labs, and it'll be like something that's normally like a $5-10 test. The test will be like $200, it says. Just ridiculous, the markup. Like, a completely absurd. Like, this is what goes on. You go to the hospital and you get these crazy bills, and it's all for profit. That's not how much stuff really costs. That's not how much. It's just they're marking it up so dang much to get insurance money or to just make a huge amount of profit. That's why people go for like medical procedures, and it sinks them. Like, if you go to the emergency room without health insurance, you're completely screwed. I mean, any visit to the emergency room, $4,000. Like, you're looking at $4,000 at least. You have a bunch of tests done, a bunch of other stuff, it could go up way higher. You have a traumatic thing happen, you're in a car accident, the bills would be insane. So it's all for profit. Like, you need some degree of health insurance, but even health insurance is somewhat of a scam because it's also for profit, and they don't really want to like help you with anything because they really are trying to profit themselves. So how do they profit? By making the patient pay a crazy high deductible, and they try to avoid all the stuff and all that. So it's like, it's something you have to have, but it's working against you. And this is just the whole system's like this, guys. So at the end of the day, what's the best way to protect yourself? Just trying to be as healthy as possible. That's the only way to protect yourself, because they're not looking out for you. They're just trying to profit. That's how it is. Like, I don't know. This is so plain and simple. I see it all the time. I'm like, they are not Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You have to take care of yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. The hospitals aren't going to help. The doctors aren't going to help. No one's going to help. Like, I think some of the specialists, once you get to actual specialists, so let's say we're seeing a thyroid specialist, cancer specialist, whatever, oncologist, all that, they are better because this is what they like went to school for. This is what they love. This is what they're interested in. That specific aspect of things. But a lot of times, like the general doctors, ER docs, all that stuff, and I've had great care. Like, we went to the emergency room, we had phenomenal care. But at the end of the day, the hospital is trying to profit. The insurance companies are trying to profit. And then the hospitals are trying to screw over the insurance companies. It's this catch-22. And most of the time, you're going to have to fight tooth and nail to get information from a doctor as far as like, oh, I want to get these labs done. Well, you're going to have to literally like push and pull with them to get them to actually do something. You're going to have to be very persistent. And a lot of times they will still reject you. So it's just ridiculous. This is one thing that really like was a wake-up call for me. Once I realized it, once I got a little older, I'm like, wow. So if I keep, taking a bunch of steroids and I'm like super unhealthy and I have issues, well, I'm going to be in trouble because no one's looking after me. Like, no one's going to help me to a significant extent. Like, it's going to be on my own. I'm going to have to interpret my own labs. I'm going to have to know what I'm looking at. I'm going to have to know what needs work because no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. It's a wake-up call. Do you want to put your life in the hands of people who really don't care? Do you really want to do that? That's something you have to think about. So that's why these decisions, as far as even cycling and stuff, things that are unhealthy, like, you really have to think about the pros and cons. And like, I eat unhealthy food sometimes. I like snacks. I have pretty good genetics as far as like I don't get put on fat real easily. So I still like to partake in some things that are not good for me. But I weigh the pros and cons. It's like, I didn't want to, eat a bunch of snacks and take steroids and take Tren and all this. So it's like, and at some point, you're even going to have to cut that stuff out. But you really have to look after your own health because no one else is going to do it. So it's just one of these things that really struck a nerve with me today because I've seen it myself so many times in my own care and in others. I've had good doctors, I've had bad. We've all had that situation. But for the most part, you realize like this is all just a scheme to like get money. Like this is what it is. It's no one's looking out for you. You have to take the reins. You have to educate yourself. You have to be able to interpret your own labs. You have to get the doctors, look at your own my chart. And like, I wouldn't recommend this, but like, this is an example. Like, I got my CT scan done one time when I was peeing blood because of kidney stones. Like, I've had this hematuria because of kidney stones. I got the CT scan done to make sure it wasn't cancer, eliminate that. So I got the CT scan done. I opened my my chart to read the results. The my chart clearly said, all the organs look fine in the GI tract. All the organs are fine, pancreas, kidneys, everything's fine. There's no enlargement, which was interesting after years of steroids. But you have 3 kidney stones, and there's one in the ureter, which is causing a lot of this bleeding. So I literally interpreted it, and I never went in for the follow-up because they're going to tell me what I already know. So, and that's another thing. Follow-up appointments, a lot of times, do they really tell you that much? Are they really telling you? Are they telling you that much that you're not going to be able to figure out on your own? A lot of times, no. So it's just educating yourself becomes so important in this day and age. Like, you have to educate yourself. You have to know why you're taking something. Do I need this? Are there natural alternatives? Is there a holistic approach? Is there other things I can do? Because a lot of times it's just craziness. Like, and I think, like I said, I'm going to preface this. There are good doctors. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. But I've educated myself. I've taken the reins because I don't trust anyone else to take care of me. That the decision's in your hands. You have to do that. So this is just something that struck a chord with me today. If you like this content, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe for the sake of the algorithm. Let's grow this channel. Appreciate the tremendous support. So many people have subscribed and all that, and the channel's blowing up. So I really appreciate you guys.